Straight ahead on the Drift, we're drifting into Martha's Vineyard, where a well-known islander invites us into the amazing place that he calls home. Plus, comedian and actor Lenny Clarke brings big laughs and his own vineyard connection. Then we get in the mood for tacos and margaritas as we visit a place that was born from a love of authentic Mexican cuisine. We also take you back to a time when Jaws ruled this town, with a special drift above. It's all ahead on the Drift, the social place for boater. Hello and welcome to the social place for boaters, the Drift. I'm your host, Sierra Goodwill. Let's drift sociably. This time we drift into the place they call The Rock, Martha's Vineyard. A boater's must-stop port, rich with history, charm, and that unmistakable New England vibe. And who better to show us around than a well-known islander with a lifelong love for the vineyard, Ernie Bach Jr. John tied up at Ernie's Oak Bluffs home, a place he calls his vineyard sanctuary.
Ernie!
Hey, John.
Awesome parking spot.
Yeah, how was the ride over?
Awesome, and as the vineyard goes, you can't beat pulling right up here.
That's right, a nice calm day. It's good, a little cloudy, but beautiful.
So where are we on the vineyard?
We're in Oak Bluffs. We are on East Chop.
Tell me about the property. This is amazing.
Well, I've been here for a few years. I bought it from a local, and I did a lot of work to it. And it's a nice little place to hang out. It's private.
It feels like this property has been here for 100 years. Is this new? Did you build this, or has it been?
This was built in the 40s. As you see how close it is to the water.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that today.
And Ernie, you have a dock that connects to a porch.
Right.
How do you pull that off?
Well, yeah, I didn't. Back in the day, they let you do that.
Right.
There's about 4, maybe 5 houses on this strip that were built in the 40s, and they allowed that. So it's kind of cool, the deck right into the dock.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So Ernie, when was this house built? I mean, it looks like it's been here again like for 100 years.
Right, the house was built around the 40s. I did a lot of work to make it look like it is now. Mm-hmm. But it had a little bit of a checkered past and
checkered past.
Well, not for me, but a lot of the older guys on the vineyard have told me about this house, the house behind me, and the house across from them. And usually the stories they don't add up. But every guy tells me the same story. The same story that the very prominent family lived in the big house behind me, and they ran alcohol here during Prohibition.
Ooh, okay. So this was a landing spot.
This is a landing spot, yep, where they got rid of the alcohol around the island and over to the mainland. And hey, you know, it was a different time. They can do whatever they want. I'm not judging, but I'm hearing the same story from everybody. John, let me show you one of my favorite views. So this is off the master bedroom, and you kind of get the lay of the land here.
Ernie, there was a day when I would call this $1 million view, but today,
I wish.
This is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, again, Vineyard Haven is over there. You've got West Shop. Edgartown is not that far away, about 10 minutes by boat.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Ernie, the property is gorgeous.
Well, thank you. We have a carriage house here. I call it a carriage house because it's got 2 garage bays, and that's the guest house, and then the main house.
This is something you'd see in the 1930s.
Yeah.
You know, bungalow-like, and a couple of homes on the property and a fantastic view. It's just, where else in the world would you want to be? Right. You've been a lot of places.
I've been a lot of places, but I'm from here, you know.
Right.
I have a lot of friends that have moved to, you know, all over the world, and towards the end or the middle of their journey throughout life, they always want to come back.
Ernie, you've got a wonderful property with a dock in Martha's Vineyard, but you're not a boat guy. Have you ever been a boat guy?
No, not a boat guy. I have friends that have boats, and that's the best way to have a boat, is if a friend has a boat. It's not my style. Some people are boat style people. I am not.
So, If you're on the island and you need a vehicle, you've got to have a Jeep, right? And you have to tell me about this beauty.
I was looking at Jeeps and I found this company, Starwood, which does modifications of Jeeps.
It's beautiful. So a lot of people on island talk about Bach Park. It's a special place.
Well, yeah, it's an area in Vineyard Haven on Beach Road. I used to own a marina there. Next to the marina, there was a restaurant, and then a little down was a parking lot. And I sold the marina, sold the restaurant, and I kept the parking lot. And I didn't really know what to do with it, so I developed Bach Park as the beautification of Beach Road. You want to go see it?
I'd love to see it.
Let's go.
Ernie, tell me about growing up on the vineyard. Your dad had that house that everyone knew was like the castle on the water, right?
Right. My dad built a house in '83, but long before that, we started to come to the vineyard for the summers.
Okay.
In the early '60s, my father became the #1 Rambler dealer in the country, and the prize was a boat, which he named the Rambler. And then we started doing day trips. He housed it out of Quincy. We would come over to the vineyard and spend the weekend and stuff like that. And some of my earliest memories was being on the vineyard. I can tell you that my consciousness of being on the vineyard started in 1967.
Summer of '67.
So the summer of '67, I was 9, and you know, getting to know the island. And then as we came here during the summer, you know, ran a little wild on the island as the kids still do today. And then in '83, my father bought this preacher's land on Egertown Harbor, and he started building the house.
You have to tell me about the llamas.
Well, the llamas came after the property was there, after he owned the property, and a petting zoo went out of business. And the guy came to my father, he said, hey, they're gonna destroy these animals. You know, my father just kept the llamas, and they lived, and he replaced them, and they're still on the vineyard today.
Coming up, at the helm with BoatUS and what belongs in your essential safety kit before you leave the dock. It's all ahead on The Drift, the social place for boaters.
The Drift is brought to you by BoatUS, Sociably, and Subaru of New England. At the Helm is brought to you by BoatUS. Better boating starts here.
Welcome back to the social place for boaters, The Drift, and our friends from BoatUS are once again at the helm. And this time, we're breaking down a must-have safety kit with a few essentials you might not have thought of.
So I'm going to show you what we've got in one of our orange boxes here. We're talking about gear that is U.S. Coast Guard required and some additional gear that's not required but is smart to have aboard. We do have a first aid kit aboard. So this is your basic first aid kit. We've added to ours a tourniquet. This would be in the event of a propeller strike or something happening where a person's bleeding. I've also added icing. This would be if somebody's got low blood sugar, or if they're hypothermic, one of the first things you want to do is get them in the boat and give them a little bit of sugar in their cheek. I like to keep Dramamine aboard for anybody that might be feeling seasick. And it's not a bad idea to have some Benadryl either. Also in here, I've got a pair of binoculars, and these are going to be for when we go out and we're keeping lookout. It's a great idea to keep a really bright flashlight aboard. My boat doesn't have a spotlight, so if I'm ever stuck out in times of reduced visibility or nighttime, it's very bright and I can shine it on the channel markers and on other boats to let them know where I am. We're going to show you what we have in our next box here. You are required to have flares aboard. Flares are very important. They're visual distress signals. They're a way that will signal to other boats in an emergency that you need assistance. It's a great idea to also have an electronic visual distress signal. So these are Coast Guard approved, basically strobe lights. And what they're gonna do is this is gonna burn for 90 hours versus a flare, which might only burn for 1 to 3 minutes. You're also required to have a sound producing device. This is an air horn. We have one up on the console at the helm, but if I were ever having to abandon, this would be one of the things that I took with me. It's gonna make a loud noise and make it easier for people to find me. We hope you're never gonna have to use any of the items in here, but in case you do, it's really important to let all of your guests aboard know where everything is so that they can access it, just in case anything were to ever happen to the owner or the operator. We hope you have a great day and we'll see you on the water.
Better boating starts at BoatUS.com. Visit them for more helpful boating tips.
So Lenny, we talked about the old days on the island, right? Entertainment. What was hot back then?
Well, I tell you what, look what I found. I found this old poster of a comedy show with Lenny Clarke. You remember Lenny Clarke?
Lenny Clarke.
The guy's amazing. He's incredible. Look at 1999. Don Gavin. Yeah,
That was the place.
That was the place back then. But Lenny, he's just an amazing guy, you know.
Lenny's a island guy, right?
Oh yeah,
Always
he's
has
been here for. Look at this, Lenny Clarke.
I was working on my tent. This is a great place to come if you're waiting for a ferry and you don't want to be bothered by it.
That's right.
It's like a meditation.
It is
Look
like
at
a
this,
meditation,
right?
and it's open periodically, which is nice. Yeah.
They're beautiful. Look what they've done with it.
Now, how long have you been here?
I've been on the vineyard for 28 years.
28 years.
Yeah.
You didn't want to leave. You nestled right in.
You know what? I like
A kid from Cambridge.
I know. Can you believe that? But no, it's just I really enjoyed being here. And my mother said, Lenny, when you get near the water, you calm down. You know. And
I loved your mother, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I love both your parents.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
I loved your mother.
My mother's famous saying was, Lenny, what is wrong with you?
But it's a beautiful day. It looks
Gorgeous
good,
postcard.
right?
Look at this, huh?
It's nice.
My good
So
God.
what are your plans? Are you hanging around here? Are you?
I really want, it's like you. We planned to be here,
Yeah, right.
and then business comes up. You're in Japan, you go, and I there's no place I'd rather be than here, you know. And I enjoy the serenity here, the peace down here.
It is. It's
But
really,
but I find that more in the winter. You know what I mean?
I tell you, I come here more in the winter than I do in the summer.
Me too.
I'm here almost every weekend.
Yep, and it's so great. It's so, I just really like it. It slows down. It's just fantastic. But and I don't know. I mean, I still like doing movies.
Yeah.
And I've got a few irons in the fire for doing
Nice.
that. Yeah, you know what I mean? So come on down, check out Clarke Park. It's like meditation on the vineyard. It's wide open, no one's here. Good place to sit while you're waiting for a ferry. And then, after you're all meditated up, let's go downtown and see how many people we can upset. My meditation didn't work. It didn't take.
It's just steps from the ferry, but one bite and you'll feel like you're in Mexico. Deliciously. It's all ahead on the Drift, the social place for boaters. Now there's a place where the Drift is always on. Check out our YouTube page at Drift Sociably. Find full episodes and your favorite Drift features. That's Drift Sociably on YouTube, the social place for boaters. Get the Drift? With its working waterfront, local shops, and island energy, Vineyard Haven is where tradition meets charm. A stone's throw from the ferry, we found El Barco Taco, serving up zesty seaside flavor.
Ernie.
Patrick, good to see you.
You find all the great spots, all the hideaways on Martha's Vineyard.
I tell you, we had
Can't keep it from you.
We had the tacos. We had the smash burger tacos, which is my
Amazing.
personal favorite. Fish taco was amazing, and the short rib. Is that a taco? What is that?
It's a quesadilla.
Quesadilla, yeah.
From our chef's mother. He grew up in Mexico City, and it's his grandmother's recipe from Mexico City.
Yeah, very nice.
And it's quite a a hit. It's the #1 seller here. Well, we make them with handmade tortillas.
Here?
Yeah.
You make the tortilla
Yeah.
here?
We have recipe, and we've got a nice little spice addition that goes with it as well.
Nice. Yeah, drinks are good.
Cheers to margarita.
Vineyard Haven dry for a lot of years?
Vineyard Haven, this is the first bar on the water. Vineyard Haven has historically been a dry town since when it was formed sometime in the late 1600s. And then slowly they allowed beer and wine years ago, and then beer and wine morphed into drinks, and then drinks with food, and then, so right as the law is starting to loosen up, Vineyard Haven is now starting to compete with the other towns on the island with great culinary destinations. You know, we're 80 steps from the Vineyard Haven ferry. So if you're coming or going and you need a burrito or a taco or a margarita, we're here for you.
Great place to wait for the ferry. Great place.
And it's a fantastic experience.
Coming up, they call it OB. It's Oak Bluffs, and it's straight ahead on the Drift.
Drift Above is brought to you by Subaru of New England.
And now, Subaru of New England takes us above the lakes, waterways, wildlife, and seashores that we so enjoy. Now we drift above Oak Bluffs Harbor on Martha's Vineyard, a vibrant stretch of water where island charm meets nautical tradition. Cutting across the water is a boat that turns heads, not just because of how it looks, but because of what it represents. This is ORCA, a jaw-dropping, painstakingly accurate recreation of the iconic shark hunting vessel from Jaws, brought back to life by Michael Sterling. From the classic lines of her wooden hull to the vintage barrels and era-authentic details, Michael didn't just build a boat, he resurrected a legend. Drift above more of our amazing coast at driftsociably.com and at Drift Sociably on social media.
Well, I'm rolling down the highway, and I hope this
Now it's back in the Jeep for a quick cruise to Oak Bluffs, or OB as it's affectionately known by locals and vineyard regulars. It's where candy-colored cottages line the streets, beachgoers sprawl out on sandy, free stretches of shoreline, and classic vineyard charm lingers like a postcard from the past. With its mix of old-school soul and breezy boardwalk energy, OB isn't just a stop. It's a must-add destination for any boater drifting through the island.
Tell me about Music Drives Us and Bach philanthropy.
It's morphed into many different things. We're trying to keep music into the, public sector,
right,
and mostly the schools. So we've been funding school projects for, next year will be 20 years.
So you've been providing instruments to schools for over 20 years.
Yeah, instruments, programs, teachers. We just put in 50 violins in a school in Boston.
Tell me more about Bach philanthropy now, outside of Music Drives Us, which does amazing work.
Well, I have these initiatives. I have the Bach Center, which is 2 theaters, the Wang and the Schubert. More than just a theater, we have educational programs and a lot to integrate art into the community. I have Project Uganda, which is a hospital that I built in Uganda, a hospital, a school. We're about to start a big agricultural project there. We're going to raise chickens for the community. And I went to Uganda in 2015. I went with Nat Geo to do a TV show. And I fell in love with this village called Wajinja in Uganda. And I've been doing projects for 10 years there.
Like, what's the give back about? What does that do for you as a person?
I think once you live life and achieve what you started out to do, it's the second mountain you climb. The first mountain is to obtain, take care of your family, make a couple bucks. And the second part of your life is giving back.
The best is up ahead. On this road on down.
Thanks for joining us, drifters. We'll see you again right here next time, maybe even out on the water. It's the social place for boaters, The Drift. For more like this, like, follow, share, and subscribe to The Drift at Drift Sociably or visit us at driftsociably.com. For all of us here at The Drift, I'm Sierra Goodwill. Drift Sociably. Get the drift?
The Drift is brought to you by BoatUS, Sociably, and Subaru of New England.